It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
People love chips and salsa.
Welcome. How are we doing today? As you can all see today, no, don't adjust your cameras, don't adjust your phone, don't adjust nothing. Yes, I'm filling in. My name is Sid De La Fuente. I'm filling in for Don Jorge and Alice for the Chips and Salsa. But we want to welcome you still here to Central City Talk Radio Center for the Chips and Salsa Show. Again, I'm your host, Sid De La Fuente. We're just going to get into this. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, if I screw up, bear with me, okay? That's all I ask. Just bear with me. It's been a while since I've been on the behind the mic. It's been about 2 years. Some of you may know me, saw me out there. Maybe just said, "Who's this guy?" Oh well, that's fine too. All right. But we're gonna have a great time and we're gonna have a great show. I would like to introduce you to my guest here, who is a congressional candidate, Luis
Pozzolo.
Pozzolo. See, I told you I was gonna screw it up. But I am bad with names. I'm sorry. I apologize from the beginning. Luis he's running for congressional district number 7, and you know who's over there, right? We all know who's he'll be facing, but it's okay. Welcome. I want to welcome you first of all, and then also I want to welcome you to Central City here at Chips and Salsa, and also to tell you about it's great to see a Latino stepping up, especially in that district, going against someone who is part of a politician that has been in office for who knows how long. It's been ages. I think he's well known down there, but stepping up to the plate and going and getting it. I want to welcome you. Introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Luis Pozzolo. Thank you for the opportunity. It's amazing to be here. We coordinate, like 2 months ago, so we've been waiting for this day, and great surprise to have a host like you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm again running against Congressional District 7 against Raul Grijalva, who's been there for 20 years. Things are not getting better in the border. The economics for Southern Arizona they are not getting better. So we decided to step up. I'm an immigrant, a naturalized citizen, business owner who decided to step up and defeat Raul Grijalva, because we are not stepping up for a race. We are going to defeat Raul Grijalva. We are going to bring prosperity to Congressional District 7. And Raul has been very bad for the district. And I think, all of us, all races in Congressional District 7 deserve a better opportunity, better prosperity, better education. Mining companies have been slowing down because Raul, open borders, fentanyl trafficking is crazy right now in our southern border. So I think we are going to bring a different perspective for the district, and we're going to bring, we're going to be a person who worked very hard. I work very hard, 7 days a week in my businesses. That's how I came, 20 years ago, became from dishwasher to a business owner, working hard. And this is the time I give back to America and help America. That's the way I'm going to give back to America for this great opportunity.
That's great. That's great. So you are, I guess you could say, a grassroots person. You just, you're a Latino that works hard. You have 2 businesses.
Yeah, I got 2 businesses. Yeah.
Okay, 2 businesses up in what area?
One in Maricopa City, one in Fountain Hills. Yeah.
Fountain Hills.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Yeah, you talked about the mining company. I heard you just talk about the bad things. How it's going slow out there. I can agree with that because I had a friend that put in to work out there in the mining company, and one of the, I guess you could say, kind of the executive jobs up there, trying to do it, and he was in the running, and then all of a sudden he was out of the running. And the reason they told him is because everything was starting to slow down, and the mining company is pretty much going slow back there. But that's not the only businesses that are going out of business or slowing down, right? Enlighten us. You're out there. What do you see?
Oh, well, let's start with mining. Let's put it this way. So Raul have a very hard stand in mining, and he's been slowing down, stopping basically, not slowing down all the mining projects. Right now we have 3 big project that can bring to communities thousands of good pay jobs, and he's been slowing down this for years. So, and we are not talking about bringing mining over there and killing people and hurting people and destroying the environment. We are, talking about, companies that are coming here. Machines are a lot more efficient than 50, 60 years ago. A lot of people are concerned about water. This machine recycles 70% of the water, and they use less water. Mortality rate in Arizona for mining is just one person a year. And they have a meeting with the person who is in charge of the safety in the state last week, and we talk about he's a safety guy. I'm a safety guy too. I'm certified, in the railroads and OSHA. We need to increase safety and bring more briefings and more PPE to make that one go to zero. But at the same time, we need to create jobs. And Raul has been against that. They always have excuses. Last one, I think it was a certain type of a snake. It was, you only see in the area, and that can be dangerous for the species. And that's the reason why he's going to stop a $2.5 billion project and cut thousands of jobs. We really need, unemployment rate is over 15% in southern Arizona.
15%?
15%. That's double the media in the United States.
Yeah. That is something. How about businesses? Anything else?
Absolutely.
What do you see as far as business? Because small businesses out there, I know probably small businesses are struggling out there, are they?
Oh, they are struggling, especially Tucson, after the mandate. Nogales is very sad to drive those areas that you see, whole blocks of businesses, small businesses. And the small businesses are the heart of America, basically. And a lot of them, they're closing because, the mandates, because, government is paying people to stay home. As a business owner myself, I can tell you it's very hard to find people coming to work into your businesses because the government is paying them to stay home. So, taxes are increasing. Security is a big problem. We're facing, we have, like Yuma, thousands of people, you don't know where they're coming, walking into the streets. So the safety concern, the security concern is there too.
Is also there. Yeah. It's really changed from what I hear. I haven't been down there. I'll be honest with you. I haven't been down there for a while. But from what I can hear talking with people and understand that it's really changed down there. It's like you had just said. It's kind of like a ghost town. And just some places are just there's nobody there doing. But they are people walking across the streets and walking just like. And those are probably the people that are pretty much coming across or dropping off right there. Just dropping them off because I know one of the places that. They have been dropping off is right there. A lot of, I guess you want to call them immigrants, legal. Let's go politically correct, illegals or I shouldn't say illegal. Yeah. Excuse me, that's not politically correct. Anyway, they've been dropping them off and just dropping them off there, and that's it. They say that's it, but it has had an impact. Has it not there in Tucson in your area? Well,
let's start with border security. We're talking about people walking in, and that's the main problem we have. Raul Grijalva has been working very hard to keep certain part of the border open. And he worked for 20 years. He's a natural resources chairman in D.C. So basically, they've been working, sanctuary cities or sanctuary lands. The reservations where we basically have no security. I have walk areas where it's very hard. It's very easy for them to be to cross.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back with Luis, and as soon as we get back from this little break. All right.
Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
When you hear the Wayne Allen Root Show.
For once, Reuters done some actual journalism on Hunter Biden. Hunter never actually worked in Ukraine, but he worked for Burisma, making $50,000 a month.
Then you are home. The Valley's news talk and podcasts. Talk Central, Phoenix.
And now back for more chips in salsa.
Well, sir, while I may not agree with what you say, I'll defend to the death your right to say it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. And we're back here with congressional candidate Luis Pozzolo. I will get that right before we leave, okay?
Two more times.
Yeah. There we go. Luis, I really need, I think our audience really needs to know who Luis is, where you come from, your background. I know you kind of got into it in the beginning, but tell the people out there, who you are as a person. As a person.
Okay, my name is Luis Pozzolo. I'm 50 years old. I came to America 20 years ago when I was 30. I was born in Uruguay, South America. And I never expect, in my 30s to, need to migrate to another country. The country I was born became socialist, and I decided to leave. I couldn't live under socialist policy. I always look for freedom and opportunity. For that reason, I came to the United States. My father was dying before I came. I came here after my father died. 3 weeks after my father died, and he said, "Man, you're going to go to America to, wash dishes for the gringos." And he was right. My first job was a dishwasher. But the difference between the country I was born and America, that if you're born a dishwasher there, you die as a dishwasher. And in America, it's opportunity. So I started as a dishwasher. I was able, to get into recruiting, worked for Toyota. After that, I was a safety manager. I did all the certifications and training to be a safety manager in Arshade Corman, it's a railroad company in Kentucky. After that, I worked for, I got certified by Microsoft. I was a business analyst for 2 high-tech companies. And I got into the meat business and became general manager and director of operation for 2 different $2 billion companies, Fortune 500 companies. And from there, I decided to, go the American dream, 100%, 100 miles an hour, and decided to go by myself and open my own businesses and have my own freedom and being able to run my own businesses. And I was successful, even when people told me, "You're not going to be successful in Arizona. You're a brown Latino coming from South America. It's not a space for you here." And I was well received, being here in Arizona for 5 years. And, I believe I represent for people what the American dream is about. The American dream is that,
Yes, you do. That story is the American dream. You got it. You started, as you said, a dishwasher.
$7 an hour in a Yamamoto restaurant in Lexington, Kentucky.
$7 an hour dishwasher.
Yeah.
And if you were doing that, I got your story. If you were doing that back in your country, you said you die a dishwasher.
Yeah, the people there was politicians there. They say you are born a carpenter, you will die a carpenter. You're born for be a lawyer, you're going to be a lawyer. So the class was very differentiated. But my father, and we can talk about my father when the time comes. I can tell you a story. Was a very success story there too.
Okay, but you are the American dream, even with all you coming from another country, a socialist country, at that. So you know exactly what socialism is all about.
Yeah, I can. That's the reason I'm running.
Yeah. Because why? You see it when Raw go over there with Raw? And then,
I see it with Raul Grijalva. I think the whole country were in the crosshairs from being on a free country, a free nation, or be a socialist nation. And I think we are in a very dangerous position right now as a nation, and we need to take the right road to keep providing freedom, not only to American people, to the people like me, legal immigrants like me, that they're willing to come and protect and support and comply with the law. It need to be the opportunity.
Yeah.
America, nobody migrate to, Russia or Venezuela or Cuba or Argentina. Nobody's moving into socialist countries.
No.
So it's a reason why.
Yeah, there's a reason why. Then there's a reason why they're all borders are opening up. Now, you came, again, from a socialist country. You know exactly. I can't believe it. Your story is just, it is what they call the American dream.
Yes.
It is the American dream. And you just said that you came here really for the freedom, the opportunity, like anybody else. You had your hardships. You said you had your hardships. What are some of the hardships you had? Just a couple.
I would tell people, and I'm really concerned about our education system, for example, because our education system don't provide that part to people to understand there is a lot of effort and hard work to be successful. Whatever you do, you run 100 meters, you will need to train every day. You want to have a business, you will need to work more than 40 hours a week. So the hardships for me was basically, it was very hard for me to understand the processes here. And that's why I tell people that the assimilation process in immigration, we need to step up on that. Now we're letting everybody come. Okay, you want to be a radical, it's okay. No, we need to teach people why America has been successful for 250 years. And I started doing that. I started talking about immigration in 2012 when I became a citizen in Kentucky. Everybody laughed. I said, where are you going to speak about immigration, Luis? All my friends were making fun of me. I said, I'm going to speak about immigration in the tea parties.
Yeah.
And they say, well, they're going to hang you in the front door. We're crazy. And that, I said, no, it's not going to happen. And I finished, speaking every tea party in Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee. I was able to go to Washington, D.C., for a couple of years. I went several times to speak about immigration and tell my story and my thought about legal immigration and, border security. So what I tell, what I like to tell the young generation coming, success is not free or cheap or easy. Every person, you see somebody and you say, oh, look at that guy run 100 meters in 8 seconds. And you think that guy was born that way, and that guy one day woke up and went and ran and did 8 seconds. No, that guy's been training for 10 years to be able to run 8 seconds. And success is something you build. I wasn't prepared when I came to this country to be successful because my mind was wired differently. I need to, push myself to assimilate to this nation and look into people and say, it's a reason why this country is successful. Why I'm going to import my ideas and how the society should be run and trying to implement that over here. My country already failed applying that. Why I need to learn what America is doing different, and I think that's what that was hard for me. It took me like 7 years.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because even down the day, we were talking earlier before. We hear professors in universities talking. We have others that are talking about even our own government. You see nowadays over there trying to get into this socialist regime tyrant. We have it over in what's happening right now with the truckers up in Canada, fighting I call him TT, Trudeau.
Yeah.
You're fighting that. They're fighting that. So you experienced it. You know what a tyrant can be.
Yep.
What a tyrant can be, and yet when you came here, you strived for success. It took you, but yet you made it.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to go a little bit back into Uruguay. I was born in 1971 in the middle of a crisis in the country was born. So the radical communists, called Movimiento Tupamaros in Uruguay, tried to take over the government by force. So they were kidnapping, killing people. My father was a senator at that time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, my father was a star, when he was 27, got in Congress. He's coming from a very poor family. And basically, probably was the only one at that time who was in a position like that, coming from extreme poverty. So when I was 5 years old, the military regime took over. So that was, we came from the radical from the left to the radical from the right now. And my father needed to flee the country. Went first to Argentina and after went to Paraguay. So I didn't see my father for several years, and that really marked my childhood. And that's why I at the same time I look for stability and political stability, not for division. And I always tell the people, you don't want your kids to live what I live and what I saw.
Yeah.
And that's another the reasons I'm fighting to defeat a person who's been very divisive in our place in this district, Congressional District 7. But I came from that family. And the country started turning in 85. My father became a senator again. We had a democratic system again. They free all these terrorists, communist terrorists from jail. And these people started taking over education, taking over the media. And in 2004, they won. In 2004, they won the presidency and the House and the Senate. And they ran the country for, over 16 years. And it's a disaster. If I don't even go back because the few times I went back in the last 16 years, it is really disgraceful to see what they did with my society, with the place I was born. Yeah,
it's probably hard to see that, see coming from what you've been through and see. Yeah. But it's outstanding. You come here, you have 2 businesses, you strive for that. Now on top of that, you're running for Congressional District 7 against someone who's really established in saying that he is a native and he is an immigrant at the same time. I guess there can be both. I don't know, but how can you be an immigrant and a native at the same time? But I think someone back in District 7, they need someone like you. They really do, because you're a story of American success. which is very, very, very rare now. It's hard, especially being an immigrant, right? Especially coming in the right way, I should say. I can understand that situation because we discussed it with my. Yep. I was telling my story with my father, and that's the way it is. But it's America offers an opportunity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You came here looking for an opportunity. You got it. Plus, you even got the opportunity of freedom, and you want to keep that. That's why I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what you're trying to establish your story and help others to build their story too in your district.
Yeah, in 2012 when I became citizen, I pledged allegiance to this country and I acquired some rights, but some obligations too.
Yeah.
And I always thought how I'm going to pay back to this beautiful country that I love so much and the people, what they did for me. They gave me a second chance. At that time, I was very depressed because everything was happening there. I lost my father. My wife was pregnant. What I'm going to do, where I'm going to go. 30 years old, and this country gave me that chance. The people of this country gave me jobs. They helped me understand the culture over here, and I was able to be successful. So how I pay back, and I think going especially Congressional District 7 with the 65% Latino. So Raul has been a fake Latino for 20 years, telling people he's a Latino, he's a native, and it's okay. We have a lot of natives, and hopefully the native nations support our race too, and they understand we are there to support the people and to listen to the people and to represent the people, not represent big PACs like Raul does. We can talk about about the money coming into dark money.
That's another whole story.
But basically, I'm a guy who's knocking doors and asking the people, what do you need? How I can help you? We cannot forget that this position in Congress is 435 people are going over there to represent the people of their district, not the party, no whatever PAC is paying them. They are over there to represent the people. You cannot represent the people if you don't talk with the people, and that's what I'm doing. I'm talking with everybody. If you're an independent, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, whatever your position is, or you are unregistered voter, and you want to come on board, we have an open door to talk to me. And I want to understand every person, because when I go there, I need to represent everybody. The people that think like me and the people that think differently. Not like Raul Grijalva, who is a radical, who, don't talk with certain people and, he attack businesses he doesn't like. He go against people that he doesn't like. He got basically people all over the government over there that, attack small businesses or people that are not registered Democrats.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen with me. You can be a Democrat. When I became a congressman, you can be a Democrat in a Republican congressional district, and you are going to be successful too. And I'm going to respect that.
That's great. And I think that's what people need down there. They need someone like you. They need someone like you to go that listens to them and understands them. Well, we're going to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and go to break in a little bit, and we'll be back. And I'm working on it.
When you hear the Chips and Salsa Show.
Dementia, so like if I give you a key and you know that it's a key but you don't know where it belongs, then that would be dementia. But if I give you a key and you don't know what it is, then that's Alzheimer's.
Then you are home. The Valley's News Talk and Podcasts. Talk Central Phoenix.
Okay, so I'm really confused because my dad's Latino and my mom is white, so does that mean I can only listen to half of Chips and Salsa?
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Central City Radio Talk Center, the Chip and Salsa Show. All right, I have my congressional district candidate, Luis Pozzolo. All right, get that right? All right.
99%.
All right, good. For CD7, he's going against, he's pretty much... been out there for ages. I think he's grown roots out there too. So, Raul Grajal over there, he's going mesquite out there and liking that tequila, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, Luis. Here's things. Again, we go back. I can't help but go back to your story because it's a story of success, the American dream. It's naturally is. It's an American dream. Now, you said you're having events come up. You're having doing things. Go ahead and mention. What do you got going?
We're doing an event, a rally in Nogales, March 13. So, in Calabasa Park. So we're going to get all the people from Rio Rico and Nogales to, have a big meeting over there where, we're going to have tacos and no alcoholic drinks. So, Raul, you don't need to show up. We don't have tequila for you. But, basically we're going to have music and we want to get communities together again.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, again, like I say, if you're an independent or a Democrat or a Republican, we're American first. We need to start getting together. And it's not happening. These people are dividing us.
Yeah. And that's something that this administration has been doing, very much dividing us. And so let me ask you this. Since you come from a socialist, and I keep going back to a socialist country, and you probably know this a lot, that what do you see now? What do you see? How do you see America now compared to when you first got here, maybe?
Going back to that, 2013, I wrote a book called Reborn. And the reason I wrote that book, Reborn, it was to show the parallels, what was already happening in 2013 with Barack Obama. Not only the divisions, all the fundamental changes he was doing in education and the tax system, how he was trying to run the country, how he was dividing. Remember, you need to be able to divide a society to control it in the way they have done that all over the place. It can be because races, it can be because economic classes.
Yes.
The socialists have been using that for a long time. They did in Venezuela, they did in the country I was born, they did in Argentina, Chile. Chile is okay now. Brazil, now with Bolsonaro, is doing better. Cuba is a disaster after 70 years.
Yeah.
It's a disaster. These people are living, they're starving right now. I saw a lot of that in America. And the free stuff. They want people to believe that you can sit in your house for free. In Uruguay happened too. They have this wealth redistribution, and they make that part of their justice, social justice system they have, and so basically, you're stealing from people to give it to other people. You're taking from people that are working hard, and you give it to people that are smoking marijuana in their house. Uruguay was the first country who legalized the marijuana over there, and so and the government ran the marijuana plants. So basically, there's a group of people they were born into that system. They are educated because socialists took over the education, like here, and now they are sitting home and say, "Look, I don't need to work." What do you mean you don't need to work? I came to America, and I think that's as a Latino, and if you are a Latino, you need to understand those traditional values we bring from home, from our grandparents and our parents. We need to work hard. We need to take care of our family. We believe in family. We are Christians. We believe in family and traditional values. And those values, one of those values is work hard and don't ask for anybody. Every dollar you have in your pocket, if you earn it.
Yeah.
And that's a proud way to live.
That is a proud way. You're exactly right. That is a proud way. That is tradition that I think that goes in there. That's a tradition I was taught. That's a tradition we grew up. My father instilled that in us. My father used to take us out into the grapevines and say, look, either you get an education or this is where you're going to be and this is where you're going to earn your living. But you're going to earn a living no matter what. And I see that like you say, it is missing here. That is something that even our young people and it has to do with what you were just saying right now. Education is coming to a point where I guess you were just saying that where you came, that socialism takes over the education and makes it like give everything for free.
Yeah.
So social divide everybody's equal.
Yeah.
And that's a shame,
Equality doesn't start, from social engineering. It cannot be equality on the results because basically, the drive to succeed or not succeed is coming from the side of each individual. So each individual is unique. So you cannot bring equality.
Yeah, equality, and it's a shame that you see that. I can understand you're talking about the cities and you talk about the way they look with socialism. I think we were discussing and we were talking earlier, and I could tell you, going back into California,
L.A.
Don't hit me now, all right? But going into L.A. Back then, City of Angels. Very, very nice, very clean. Beaches, Venice Beach. Yeah. Everything was very clean, very nice, very San Francisco, the same way. It was very nice, a city tourist spot. Everybody would go and look at California through.
Everybody want to live in California.
Yeah, everybody wanted to live in California, even if it cost a little bit more. To have the nice beaches up in San Francisco, the Bay Area, L.A., the beaches, San Diego. I say L.A. more, but you go out there right now. You go out there. I remember the highways used to be nice and clean. Everything, all the brush, all the housing, nice, painted, everything. Really, city of angels.
Yes,
it looked like a city of angels. Anymore. But it doesn't. It's not anymore that way.
Yep.
San Francisco, I haven't been there for a long time, but I have people that visit. Same way. They say they can't even go on the beaches sometimes because they're getting a fear of needles or something getting in their foot or coming out, with something because it's very social. Give me, and it seems like politicians over there they got it.
Look, San Francisco pay you for being homeless. You get a check from being homeless. So
yeah. So, and you even can get into a hotel and they supervise you getting high. That's really, I don't understand that. And some of them are just saying that's the right way. That's okay. It's hard to understand, to make them understand. But I think you have a story. You have a story and you have a message that is generated and needs to be said even more, What would you tell a young person right now if you saw a young person came up to you and said, what do you do? What message you want to give me as a young person, young college or young high school?
I would tell people that you need to learn how to critically think, and we are not teaching in our education system, the skills or critical thinking. Think about outside the box. Don't believe everything a newspaper or the media is telling you. I was always that guy that will look into and that's how you fail. And sometimes you fail, you stand up, and you start over. A difference between a winner and a loser, a loser stay down, the winner stand up and keep going. And you are going to find a lot of hard times. I found, times in my life that, it's hard to describe everything I went through as a young guy and my childhood. But I was always able to find hope and a drive that, it couldn't come from the outside. It came from the outside. That's why I tell people, you need to be a critical thinker to succeed in this society, because the education system is not giving you that. So you need to find in another way. Discipline. You need to learn about discipline. Stay away from drugs. That's a key right now with the epidemic we've seen, and fentanyl and other drugs. It's very hard to walk away from drugs, especially when you're young. I never use any type of drugs. I never even smoke marijuana, and I'm proud of that. And I understand the addiction behind that and what is happening with fentanyl, especially you live in my congressional district. We are only catching 5% of that fentanyl coming, and you have 100,000 overdose, 50,000 people dying every year on fentanyl. That's a Vietnam War every year. So, stay away from that. And, look into people like me. They are more like me over there, and that's why I always tell people I'm starting this. We're going to defeat Raul Grijalva, and we're going to create a grassroots movement. We're going to take back our governments, our cities, our city councils, our counties, our education system, and we're going to take it back to where it was. Bring freedom back to you. Maybe it doesn't mean anything, because if you're young, you don't understand what I'm saying. But trust, there's still people here who want to work hard for your success. I'm one of them. I want to see the next generation be successful.
You're one of them. You're proving it. You're showing it. You're the one that you're proof. Living proof that it can be done in America. And that's what most people do come here for. They come here for just like you, the American dream, to live that dream.
And it's not only for white people. Like, if you've seen in the camera, I know the whitest guy over here. I wasn't born here. I have my accent. And none of those were conditions to stop me from being successful. So the American dream is alive, even for people like me.
It is alive for each and
not
every.
Not only for white people, like some people say.
There's an opportunity for everybody. There's an opportunity there's an opportunity just to be better. My father used to say, he's always say, be better than me. If anybody, be better than me. Okay, do something better than me. If not me, do something successful, do something, get something. But he would say, even if it is a job, but do a job that's better than what I had. Nothing that is good, great, but do something in life. Do something in life. And I think that's, you're very successful at that. You saw that dream, and you took a hold of it. You know, you took a hold of it and ran with it.
With my wife, we did. You know, she's part of this, and family. That's what I said. The structure of family is very important. I have her support. And my inspiration is my 18 years old daughter now. Too, that, you know, she was born in here, but I you know, it was hard time for me. I need to get better. I have a young wife, a beautiful daughter that I need to fight for. And that's family. Family gives us hope and gives us that drive to, you know, succeed to.
To see to that is great. That is great. And your family is probably. I mean, I can tell you they're probably very proud of you. Very proud of you. Very successful. With family that you can do anything. Now let me ask you this too. We talk about Christianity. Does that help you a lot too within your life? How's that helped you?
Well, it did. You know, I come from a nation that became atheist. You know, the Constitution took the church away. You know, the church was taken. Well, the Christianity was taken away from the education system.
Okay.
We couldn't pray. We couldn't do anything.
Okay, I want you to hold on to that thought, because I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're going to go to a hard break right now. So let me hold on to that thought. We're going to come back to that question, and then we're going to do a little twist for you guys.
Okay.
All right?
The Valley's home for podcasts. Talk Central.
No matter what Donald Trump does, he tries to tout a potential vaccine for this terrible disease. You just can't do anything right.
Then you are home. The Valley's news, talk, and podcasts. Talk Central Phoenix.
It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show. Vámonos.
I love chips and salsa. Can I listen too?
You got it. Take it away. Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Central City Radio Talk Center, the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm your host, Sid De La Fuente, here with congressional candidate Luis Pozzolo. Pozzolo. See? That was 80% off. Yeah. All right. We're talking about religion. You're going to talk about your story. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, well, I was telling you that, you know, basically the country came from, you know, religious Christianity was taken away from the schools. It was taken away from all over the place, government and everything. Even in the Constitution is separation of, you know, from church and all that. And so basically, you know, I would say 90% of the people there, you know, are empty. They don't have Christianity. And I came here, and this is a nation that you know, some people don't like it, but it was basically funded over, you know, Christianity and Christian values. And so my first interaction, it was through Salvation Army. I'm a Salvation Army soldier. Okay. My wife too. We found, you know, God, and we found Jesus in Salvation Army. It was a really fundamental part of our journey into America, because they opened their arms for us, and we enjoyed coming into church, and we still been, you know, Christians, and, you know, we have not much time to help Salvation Army like we did before. But and that's basically what you know, you start understanding, you know, when you have a nation, they have a lot of values that come from Christianity, and you destroy that, you empty that person, you take that Christian values away, and now you can fill that person with whatever you want, and you can control that person easier, you know, as a government, if that person don't have those values. And that's the war you see right now, you know, against Christianity in this country.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It's like an empty glass. You fill it with whatever you want: milk, water, juice, whatever the case you want.
Tequila roll.
Tequila roll. So, some agave.
Whatever,
you can fill it up, and they believe it, and they take that, and whatever you fill them with, it's easy to control, easy to go and control that person. Another thing, like I tell others, and I tell you fill it up with emptiness. Mm-hmm. And if there's emptiness, the person's addictions. Mm-hmm. You have no support. I tell people, you think when you're down, you have nobody to talk to, nobody to be with, nobody to be around. You think you're all by yourself. And when they take that for religion from you, they take God away from you, and you're totally empty.
You are in the middle of the forest. It's dark, and you are, you know, the wolves are around you.
Yeah. and the wolves are around
and the wolf is the government right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And they're here to pounce on and take it all away from you. And it's hard because, like you say, education has done this. Our educational system, religion, it's something that is very. Do you see that being again? I got to say this again. Being from a socialist country, do you see a lot of that happening now? Do you see a lot? What do you see as far as happening?
It's a sad process, and even I've been involved helping organizations in Venezuela and Cuba, and it's the same process. It's exactly the same process in the way they take over, and it is naive for some politicians in America to believe that they can bring prosperity to people through socialism, because it have not succeeded anywhere. You have so many places that you can show us, hey, look, it doesn't work. And they tells you, the Democratic Party is the best way to go, and it's a reason. I'm a Republican of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln wasn't a Democrat; he was a Republican, and he got the courage to do what he did for the slaves. Democrats tell you they were the ones who passed the civic rights. Well, Republicans vote, percentually. The vote percentually for Republicans was higher than Democrats. And they didn't filibuster. The Civil Rights Act. The Democrats did that. The Ku Klux Klan wasn't born in the Republican Party; it was born in the Democratic Party. So all these lies combined, with that absence of and looking back, another very important part of that. The history revision all the time, going back and say, we did this wrong. And I understand. As a humans, I look back what I did wrong in the last 20, 30 years. But it doesn't stop me, to move into the future. And that's what they're doing. They keep you there in the past. Well, 250 years we had this problem. In the border, this happened with the natives, and, we killed so many natives. That's something we cannot change. We learn from that. We got better as a country on that, and we're moving on. The future cannot wait because we are fighting what happened 200 years ago.
It's just bringing it back so that it can again control.
Control the people.
You control the people, and you can do. A lot of his. If you look at a lot of people say they can. Especially I guess you could say, which Democrats say, the elitists and those that are 5% and those that want to control are rich or whatever, but yet they don't look at themselves. They don't look at themselves and see themselves and what they're doing, and they're doing everything that they say they're not doing.
Well, they're hypocrites, basically. I give you a sample of the guy I'm running against, and the guy I'm going to defeat in November, Raul Grijalva. It's basically a guy who comes to the natives and saying, "I'm here for you." Goes to the Hispanic and say, I'm a Mexican, and I'm here for you to fight against the white oppression. And he was part of all these groups, Aslan and Mecca. They were fighting to send the European people back to Europe and take back the lands. That was his mentality in the 70s. But if you look into his records, Raul Grijalva is funded by Lawrence Jr. And you look who's Lawrence Jr., who had two PACs, one called School Effect, the other one is called the High Tide Foundation. And you basically think they are environmental organizations supporting his entrepreneur guy, Raul Grijalva, in the border. But basically, if you look into that guy, that's a guy who has $6.5 billion investment in Asia. He's a guru investor in Asia. His headquarters are in Hong Kong since 1991, and he's a white guy from South Africa. So it doesn't, wars need to match our actions, Raul Grijalva, and they are not matching you because you already sold out 20 years ago to the elites. Plus, Raul is, and he's 75. He's, he having a lot of. He had a lot of problems with his health. So basically, and he have the alcohol problems that everybody knows. Raul after 10 o'clock is already drunk, and I think nobody can hold a job in that condition. And we need better representation in Washington. We need somebody who had the energy and the knowledge and the experience to go back over there, and a person who listens to the people, go back over there and find real solutions for the people. These people need better education. We need border security. We need prosperity. And we have trade with Mexico. We see the border as a problem. I see the border as a resource. I was sitting in the Mexican side with brokers and businesses talking about trade. I can go into Mexico and talk about trade. All the port of entries from Mexico are in my district now. So we're going to use that to bring prosperity to
and
people.
then you have business experience, so you can actually do that because you're a businessman. You know exactly how to do that. Okay, we got a couple of minutes now. I say we're going to do a little twist here, okay? And the little twist here is that because you said what's the percentage down in Tucson that's Hispanic? 65% is Hispanic down in Tucson.
CD7. No, it's not only Tucson. That's CD7.
Okay.
It goes from Cochise County to Yuma, go up to Avondale. There's 970,000 people.
Okay. What I want to do now is I want you to tell those people in Spanish, in our language, tell them who you are.
Okay.
Lo quiero decir que quién es usted, que por qué estás corriendo, por qué estás corriendo contra Raúl, por qué estás corriendo por quién es usted.
Okay, mi nombre es Luis Pozzolo, soy un inmigrante como muchos de ustedes, como sus padres, sus abuelos. Soy un inmigrante que vino en busca de una mejor vida a Estados Unidos. Y lo encontré, trabajé muy duro para ello. Por 20 años trabajé muy duro para darle a mi familia todos los sueños que yo tenía, tanto espirituales como económicos. Y creo que este es el momento, después de 20 años, de poder usar esa experiencia para que usted tenga su propio sueño americano, para que usted se realice también. Y lo voy a hacer de una forma muy humilde. Como los latinos somos personas muy humildes. Y yo puedo caminar en la calle y golpear en su puerta y sentarme a hablar con usted. No importa si su casa es una casa de $1 millón o una casa de $50,000. Yo voy a ser un representante para todos. Necesitamos representar los negocios, que son los que traen trabajo. Necesitamos representar a los obreros. Y necesitamos ayudar a los que están caídos para que se levanten y empiecen a ser productivos en esta sociedad. Por esa razón, corro contra una persona que ha sido una persona que divide, una persona que ha lastimado mucho el distrito número 7 y que no nos ha representado dignamente. No podemos tener un borracho sentado en Washington, que prácticamente es una vergüenza para todos. Yo no podría mantener un trabajo. Creo que todas las compañías tienen policies acerca de personas llegando a trabajar a las 10 de la mañana borracho, molestando mujeres. Hay varios casos en donde se ha pagado con dinero de usted, impuestos que usted paga, para callar a esas personas. Raúl Grijalva es una persona, nuevamente lo repito, que nos ha dividido. Yo quiero a toda la gente junta. Volvamos a ser americanos. No importa de qué color sea usted, de dónde vino, qué nivel educativo tiene. Vivimos en el mismo lugar, en el mismo país. Tenemos que amar nuestra bandera, ser orgullosos del país que tenemos.
Ok, Luis, muchas gracias. Perdón que le molesté, pero muchas gracias a todos. Muchas gracias que te vaya bien, porque usted necesita ganar.
Vamos a ganar.
Y van a ganar. Con el favor de Dios, van a ganar y van a hacerlo. Para la gente.
Diga mi apellido en español de vuelta.
Cirilo de la Fuente.
No, mi apellido.
Oh, Luis Pozzolo.
Vea la última, 100%.
Gracias. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you, Don Jose and Alice, for letting me be the co-host here on the Chips and Salsa show. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
¿Cómo se?